Hello there, Brick Fanatics. You might not know his name, but you've absolutely definitely seen his work. César Soares is one of the absolute superstars of the LEGO Star Wars theme. He has created some of the biggest, the best, the most interesting, unique, and spectacular LEGO Star Wars sets that we have seen in recent years. Whenever we get the chance, we at Brick Fanatics love to sit down with LEGO designers and talk about their careers and the various different sets that they've designed. Join us now for our discussion with Cesar, where he talks about some of his favourite LEGO Star Wars sets that he's ever designed, how often LEGO designers are able to create their own briefs, and what it's like receiving feedback on his work. Just between you and me, this was an absolutely fascinating interview to take part in, one of my very favourite experiences interviewing any LEGO designer. Hopefully you'll learn a few interesting things now about what it's like to design LEGO Star Wars sets. If you think back on your career, what are your favourite sets that you have designed?
That is a very interesting question, because as a model designer, it's very hard, at least for me, to say this one is my favorite. But I definitely have two models that are very dear to me. One of them is the Master Builder Series Cantina. So I grew up with the original trilogy, so I'm a big fan of the original trilogy, and I still remember to this day watching the movie and the cantina scene, kind of like, wow, what is this? All these aliens and the music and all that. And when I started at LEGO back in the beginning of 2016, on my free time, I built a UCS cantina on my free time, right? And over the course of a few weeks. And Jens, the Star Wars creative lead, when he saw it on my desk, he said, "Oh, that looks fantastic." And I said, "Well, we could make it one day." And he replied, "Well, don't throw it away. Definitely put it somewhere. And one day we might make it." And it was in my desk for 4 years. Coffee stains and dust and stuff all over it. Until the right moment came and we decided to make it. And he gave the test to me, which was great. So that's definitely a special one for me because of that and because I love the scene. And then the other one is the Razor Crest. It was, at the time, was the biggest model that I worked on. And I've had a few bigger models before, but not as big as challenging as that one. And going into it, right away I knew that, okay, this is going to be a big task. But I think I learned a lot. I think that's the model that I worked on where I can say that I learned the most, actually. Little things and bigger things, the wider design perspective, but also like little techniques. I can give you a clear example. In the beginning I had the engines, which are very heavy. The structure that connects them to the main model was a Technic frame, and it was just bending. And I thought, like, Technic is supposed to be so strong. How is this? So I experimented with a lot of things, and we ended up using system bricks sideways with brackets, which is very, very strong. So I learned a lesson, like, actually system, if used properly, it's very, very sturdy and very strong, and many other things. And I am very proud of how the model ended up being. It was some different angles and all the playability in the interior, and having just the accurate shape, and the brick build creature also was like challenging. So it was a big task at the time, but a very fulfilling one, and I just love that ship. It's usually when people ask me what's your favorite set, I toggle between these two. But I would say Razor Crest. Yeah, it's one or the other, both maybe.
They're both absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
I think among the fan community, they're up there at like the top tier. Like, I feel like the Cantina is like the gold standard for a lot of LEGO sets, and people say, "Oh, well, is it as good as the Cantina?" No, nothing's quite as good as the Cantina. And it's interesting you talking about that as being something that you designed kind of by yourself first. Something that we're discussing recently internally in the Brick Fanatics team about the Death Star is, initially when we saw it, we thought, oh, this must be something that because the angle that everybody's been looking at is the first $1,000 set, and so we assumed that it had come first from a point of wanting to hit that price point, and then from different roundtables and interviews you've given, we heard that no, it was like the Cantina, something that was inspired by your own personal your kind of passion for this particular form. To what extent do you get things kind of handed to you as assignments, and to what extent are you able to present things as your own creation and then they're considered for release?
So all of us get, depending on the size of and complexity of the models, we get assigned 2-3 sets a year on the design team, and you have some freedom to work on your own in things that you're passionate about. Both Star Wars, maybe something else. We have a couple of design boosts that we have every year. One of them is a full week where you can just build whatever you want and present it and pitch it. But in the case of the Cantina, and all of us do that to some degree. Maybe some of us, it depends on the time you have available also, of course. But all of us do this kind of thing, building cantinas or whatever it is, right? That we always, either we're passionate about it or we really think this would be a great model. What do you think? Because there's nothing better as proof of concept than you build something and show it to people, which was exactly what happened with the Death Star. Alex built that on a design boost, and it impressed a lot of people. So it got made, right? Same thing with the Cantina. I think that we probably would have made a Cantina in those molds anyway, but I feel that the fact that I built it and showed it, and because the sketch model that I did was actually very close to the final model in the sense that it also opened up and there was side builds and a couple of vehicles and everything. So it really helps to sell the idea to people that decide what the portfolio is going to be, right? So it's a bit of a mix of both. We always have the assignments that we have to do, and if you have time and if you want to do it either in Design Boost or in your own free time, or if you can manage your schedule to every day an hour or something, you can work on that. Which some of us do that. You can also pitch ideas and build like that. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Was your initial idea with the Cantina to have that many minifigures in there filling the entire place out, or were you just thinking, I'm just making the structure, I can play with this as much as I want and not worrying about what was going inside it?
No, I in the beginning I had a bunch of minifigures. Some of them, they didn't exist, right? So I had some kind of placeholders. But we knew that a set like that, again, just like the Death Star, it's very minifigure driven, so they're pivotal for the set to work. And with the Cantina, when I pitched it, I actually had, or when I show it to Jens, I actually had a lineup of the minifigures that I would like to have, that I did with Maddie. Maddie was also a big proponent of us doing a big Cantina, and his list was huge. And then, of course, we had to make some choices. But from the beginning, I would say that for sure we wanted to have a rich and diverse minifigure lineup, because there's no other way with the Cantina scene, in our opinion.
Absolutely. I think it definitely works. And Maddie's work is always phenomenal. Whenever I see things he's designed, I'm just so impressed with the charm that he brings to everything he does. The fan reaction to the Death Star has been overwhelming. Like, it is something that everybody has an opinion on. And I think for some people it is absolutely fantastic, and people are thrilled with the design of it. And then, of course, there are issues around the price of it, because there is issues around the price for every Lego set. I'm just wondering, for you as a designer, what have you experienced of that, and what are your kind of thoughts on the way that the set is being received versus what you were intending to give to people?
I would say that how can I put this? We expected that the design approach we had was going to be, we were not going to appeal to everybody. As much as with any other set, we knew that some people would want something different, like more of a display piece, maybe a complete sphere, maybe Death Star 2. So this was not a total surprise. As a designer personally, I can't say that it hurts a little bit to sometimes read, the comments that people have, but we're professionals, and I am 100% proud of the work we all did, and we believe that this was, for various reasons, the best design approach, the best design concept we could have at the moment for the Death Star. So it's not like we think, oh, maybe we should have done something different. No, we don't have that mindset at all. We can't please everybody all the time. And it's fair if you don't like it, the approach we had. This was more interior based, interior focus. We really wanted to focus on the interior scenes and having all the details and everything connected and everything. That was our main focus. If that's what you're not expecting, that's totally fine. It's, we can't please everybody. I think that also when people build it, if they have the chance, my sets, I always try to have a conscious focus on build flow and how you do it, how you build it. So I think that once people build it with all the Easter eggs and the fact that you build one room at a time outside of the main build, I think people will appreciate it more, I hope.
That then was our interview with César Soares. Thank you very much again, César, for taking part in it. Let us know what you think of all of this and anything new that you might have learned in the comments down below, and do all of the rest of the YouTube things. Give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you're going to be purchasing any LEGO Star Wars sets in the near future, or indeed any LEGO sets, make sure that you use the affiliate link in the description or the QR code that is currently on screen. They take you straight to the LEGO website and we get a percentage of the sale when you purchase through those links. Do make sure that you go to brickfanatics.com for coverage of all things LEGO and sign up to our newsletter so that you never miss anything LEGO related ever again. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.